Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire.
Hi everybody and welcome back to part 2 of Foundations. welcome. I'm going to be using my phone in this part because there's something I want to read out to you. So in part 1, I've said that what was laid becomes a foundation and what was not laid becomes a foundation. Okay? By virtue of you not having something to stand on. So it becomes like a faulty foundation or foundationless, So you're here trying to put up a building, but there's nothing that was laid. So you're really working, you're now the one doing the digging work. You are overworking, you are stressing. When other people are getting some things easily, for you, they don't come easy because you are we call them transitional character. You are the one now paving the way. You are the one starting this thing. You are the one. I want you to assume, or imagine it's a forest. Nobody has walked there. There's no trail left for you, and you have to work it out. You have to walk into this forest. You have to create your own trail. You are the one who's going to come across the scorpions and the serpents and the thorns and the grasses and the bushes and everything poisonous. You are the one who's going to come, who has to clear that bush or clear that path for someone else to go through. Yet I have families, I have friends who, oh my God, even their grandfather and their grandfather, they were educated. Someone who is coming from that background and someone like me who is coming from a background or a foundation that wasn't founded. I don't know whether that makes sense. Who doesn't have a foundation for education? Unless you're a bit ignorant, it's not gonna be the same. There's grace enough, but there are people who have lived in these bondages, depending again on how deep this thing is. There are people who have lived in this ignorance and it has limited them a lot. So these are the people that I'm talking to. If you feel like, oh my God, I have a lot of limitations, I'm asking you, just find out what is my background like? What was laid and what was not laid? Not for you to live in fear, but for you to get the, to get the revelation, even in prayer, and I'm going ahead of myself because I'm supposed to talk about that soon. So I wanted to read for you something that is solely soul. So this is solely School of Life syllabus. And I've written these 3 things that I really want to put a spotlight on. And I feel like if you comprehend these 3 things, then you're going to be at you're going to be at an advantage, So the first thing is, what is fighting you? What is fighting you? You have to understand what is fighting you. For me, it's lack of education. This is fighting me. You try to move and there's a voice telling you, who do you think you are? You try to move to make steps and you don't hear the voice. Just the same way I said, you don't see the foundation. It's invisible. When you walk into the house, you don't see the foundation. It's invisible. But you try to make steps and they're questioned. You're being questioned by so many things that you cannot even see. Who do you think you are? And you just pulled back. You're like, oh my God, I missed that exam. Oh my God, when it was just about to, when you were about to sit for the paper, I didn't get money, and that is just how I missed that, and I didn't get to go to the next level. Something just pulls you back. Something just stops you. Hey, you can move because this is the standard we set for you. Who do you think you are to keep moving? So what is fighting you? What are you fighting? And what are you fighting for? I know in my family, my partner and I had agreed, we are going to get to the highest level of education because both of us don't have someone who has gone this far for the sake of our children. So you have to understand, what am I fighting for? Because this gives you tenacity. When you're struggling, when you don't have school fees, I know this is what I am fighting for. So I've said that what's fighting you makes you powerless when you do not know. When I don't know what's fighting me, I become powerless. And that's why I'm again asking you, like, what is my foundation? What is this that I'm fighting? Is it divorce? Is it, and that's a whole story. Is it divorce? Is it getting children out of wedlock? You find in a family, you find a family where everybody has to get a child before they get married. Is it singleness? You get a family where everybody is not married. What is fighting you? When you do not know what is fighting you, you become powerless, because how do you go to war and you don't know what is fighting you? So you become powerless. It overpowers you. So that's why you're supposed to understand what is fighting you. Number 2, understand what are you fighting? What are you fighting? So when you know what you're fighting, then you have power. You have power to overcome, because I know, okay, this is how I come into this war. I come, and this is what I'm renouncing, and this is what I'm denouncing. When I know this is what, when I know this is what I'm fighting, then I have power to overcome. Then the third thing is, what are you fighting for? This is an overcomer's position. I know this is what I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for a marriage. And when I say that, it makes me a bit sad, because it's not that I don't know what I've been contending with, and it's not that I have not raised it. It's not that I did not do a family tree. It's not that I did not even present a family tree to someone else to see. Can you see what is fighting? Can you see what is? Can you see? 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 But you have to be willing. You have to know this is what is fighting me, and this is what you have to contend. We are contending with. And the good thing is that we have God on our side, and God says, I'm going to contend with what is contending with you. Like whatever is contending with you, it does not have power over you. But I have to, I don't know why this thing is coming to my mind, like when there's this time that Peter went somewhere. I'm not remember. I can't remember where, but I'm just remembering when Peter put on the fire. That is when a serpent was exposed. Sometimes I'm going to put the scripture there because I can't remember exactly. Sometimes there's a fire that must be lit for something to be exposed. But when you expose something and you refuse to deal with, then it's going to deal with you. It does not matter. Trust me when I tell you. I'm telling you from experience that it does not matter how anointed you are. It does not matter how spiritual you are. It does not matter how many times you pray and fast. If you have not exposed this thing, and if you have not acknowledged it and said, oh my God, this is the one thing that has been following my family. My mother is not married. My grandmother is not married. My uncle is not married. My aunt. How is it that you can stay with such a thing and think that it's going to be well with you, and you are not fighting it? And you're just there comfortable saying, the blood of Jesus washed me. Ignorance is going to kill you. My people perish for lack of knowledge. Ignorance is going to kill you. Ignorance is going to kill you. So you have to understand. I mean, this is a revelation that is going to is going to set you free. So a trailblazer goes through so many things. A transitional character, as I've said, a transitional character is the first person that paves the way. Is the person that starts the course of something in a lineage. And there's a lot of should I say suffering, or a lot of challenges that comes with the transitional character. So I'm gonna tell you like briefly about my education and what I have had to contend with. So of course, without getting into details, when I was in my last year of primary school, that was in class 8, when I was doing my mocks, my dad died. And my dad dying meant that I was not going to go to high school. But by God's grace, and I've written in my book, Can Scars Become Stars, that I fasted for 3 days because my mom had told me, you're going to wait for a year before you go to high school. See, that is the first time that an authority figure is telling me, And it's not her fault. Like, she could not had, my mom had two other children going to high school, and she was a widow, and she was like, you know what, you have to wait before you go to high school. And I fasted for 3 days with my friends, and thank God for Women's Guild. They helped me pay for my school fees my first year. Then someone else came and said, oh my God, from the following year I'm gonna be paying for them. They took me for, I don't know if it was 2 terms, and then they dropped me for some reasons that I've actually again said in the book. Then the third person came when I was, so this person paid actually a whole year in Form 2. So in Form 3 and Form 4, someone else took me up. And this also came through prayers, because I had been home because I didn't have school fees, and I went to church. I remember I had fasted and I had prayed, so I know what sustained me, and I know what must sustain me for my education. My education has been sustained by prayer. My miracles in education has been prayers, so I know. And this is when I was in Form 2. This is when I realized, by the way, you know what? There's something that fights my education, because this happens and then this happens. So that's how I go through high school. Then I do my higher diploma without a lot of issues, but it's such a struggle. I did my higher diploma after I had done my book, Can Scars Become Stars? And from the proceeds of that book, I was able to pay for my tuition fee, and it was not easy at all. You know how selling books in Kenya is. It's so hard. It's really, really hard. So that was it. So I did my higher diploma in 2008. Then I did my BA in 2016. You can imagine that, the waiting, and I really, really wanted to. And long story short, it was not easy. Getting school fees was not easy. But this is the intriguing story here. When I was about to do, or when we were about, because I'm not the only one in my cohort, and the people that I studied with can affirm this. When we were just like a term to being done with school, we were told that, okay, the government has said that, because I was doing with my University of Manchester and my local college, so they said they are stopping any university from outside that is collaborating with colleges or universities here, and they put an end to that. And we were just 2 months to graduation. Let me tell you, I knew this had nothing to do with the classmates. I just knew, not that I am too important. To the devil, I am very, very important. And you are very, very important to the devil. Like, one thing can just happen because he has to fight you at all costs. So I wanted to say, it's not that I'm very important. You are. To the devil, you are. And it's not just my education that he's fighting. Sometimes we are so oblivious to the devil's devices, and we think, it's my marriage he's fighting. It's not that. He's fighting a whole generation. He's interested in the whole generation. So he knows, if this girl does not get to this place, if she does not graduate, then nobody else is gonna go beyond a degree. So I knew it was not about me, and I knew it was not about what the government had said. I truly knew, and I went into prayer again. And now this time my whole class was praying. My God, my class of 2016, you know how we prayed. And we prayed. And I felt like crying. We prayed so hard. Then the University of Manchester decided to graduate us. They just got wisdom on how to help us graduate. I'll just say that. And we graduated by a whisker. Let me tell you, coming here to America to study for my clinical mental health is a whole story. I can't even tell you. I'm already so emotional. If I tell you my journey of getting my I cannot tell you that story now. I'm going to tell you another day. That's a whole story. But I'm telling you, I know how I get through my education. It cannot be through sitting. It has to be through prayer and fasting and claiming it, because I'm walking where nobody else has walked. I'm paving a way that has not been there. There's no, I can't see any track. There's nothing to show me the way. I'm the one who is doing it. Of course, don't forget, there's God in all this. So I want to talk to you in part 3 about just what do you do with these foundations? I'm not an expert. I'm not a pastor. I'm just telling you about stuff I've learned and what I've done, because I feel that I've conquered. If there was no degree in my family, so if I've been able to walk this path, if I've been able to come this far without a foundation, then I feel I'm a candidate to tell you, like, this is what I did. So stay with me in part 3 as you come to the end of this foundation series. Check out.
We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals that take us higher. The night's young, it is just